Hey guys, last week I recorded a video about Magic Find, which I discussed how from the data I was able to determine that for each different tier of item there was a separate role, and actually that was just confirmed by the Blizzard's game guide. They released exactly how Magic Find works, and it's a little bit different from how I had expected it because the data that I had did not measure properties. But basically, instead of just rolling for rare, first you roll for a 6 property rare, and then a 5 property, and then a 4 property. And I thought that was really interesting because it means that the higher your magic find, the greater the proportion of items that you find that will be of 6 property. So I made a little graphic here. And I'm assuming that the base chance for an item to be a 6 property rare is 4%. For two reasons. The first is that that's the number that was used in the guide as an example, so it's not completely outlandish. And second, if you consider the 4% chance, then 11.5% of items are rare. And from Cyron's data, he was getting about 10%. It's close enough, right? And here are the measured distributions between 6, 5, and 4 properties. So these numbers here I calculated would be the drop rate for you for two different levels of Magic Find. 100%, which is a very easy level to achieve because you start out with 75 from Nephilim Valor, and you can put some Magic Find items on your companion, and also maybe randomly have Magic Find on one piece of gear. That would be enough to put you up at 100%. And since I mentioned the companion thing, remember that you only get 20% of the benefit of any Magic Find item you give to your companion. So it's, you're only going to get about 15. I think the absolute max you can get from a companion is like 20, right? So don't expect too much from that, but it does help. And here is a setup where you're wearing full Magic Find gear. As you can see, the number of items that are rare goes up a lot. And I'm going to cover exactly what kind of benefit you can expect from those two levels of Magic Find. So first, let me just show you my gear. So, I'm not just talking here. I'm actually committed to this. I've gone up to 253%, and this is just my base Magic Find, right? I'm going to still get another 75% from Nephilim Valor. And I did this because it was the easiest way to increase my profit per time. Like, my DPS is already kind of high. It's already at 50k. Maybe I could have pushed this with the same level of dedication. I could have pushed this to like 70k or something, but it's not going to give me as much of a return as Magic Find is giving. Though I also want to warn you that Magic Find does have some diminishing returns, not in like a mechanics kind of way, but simply because, say you have 0%. If you then get a 20% Magic Find item, you are getting 20% more loot. So that's going to be extremely efficient, right? But if you're already, say, at 200% Magic Find, you're getting already 3 times the items that you would normally, then adding another 20% item on top of that is not going to give you 20% more loot. You're just going to get, less than 10%. So that's not as effective. Stacking it all the way is only if you really, really want to do this. It's not necessary to do that, though. You can go for a much lower percentage where it's convenient. I just chose to do this, so but let me show you here some other stuff. And okay, so just so you can evaluate then how effective Magic Find is, right? I'm basing myself off of this scenario here. It's a typical full act run of Act 3. You kill around 35 elite packs, sometimes more, sometimes less. Sometimes you don't want to do a place, or maybe even you can't kill a pack. I don't know. But 35 is a good number to work with, and plus up to 4 bosses. In my run, I only killed 2, but some people go for the full 4. It doesn't really matter that much. So another assumption I'm making is that an elite pack normally drops 3 items, and if you have 5 stacks in Nephilim Valor, then the 4th item is a guaranteed rare. And also bosses, I'm treating as basically 2 elite packs here. They get twice the loot, so 6 items and 2 guaranteed rares. So once you do this run, with 35 elite packs, you can expect about 130 items, not counting 38 guaranteed rares. So there's actually not enough information out there right now. We don't know exactly how uh, Magic Find works. And the reason for that is because the guaranteed rare is a mystery, right? Like, I don't think there's data out on that. It would take a lot of work to collect it. It's difficult for two reasons. First, you can only look at the bosses or the elite packs that you kill. They only drop one rare, because then you're for sure that's the guaranteed one, right? And the other problem is some items you can't tell whether they have 5, 4, or 6 properties, because they'll have there's such a thing as a double roll. A single property can give you both strength and dexterity, for example. So it's not easy to tell those apart from just one property of strength and one property of dexterity. So it would be kind of complicated to gather this info, but it will be done eventually, and then we can know for sure. But in the meantime, I've separated the possibilities into two models. So we have model 1 and model 2, and I have a scenario where you have 100% magic find and 300% magic find. So model 1 is just following the percentages that I showed in the first slide. So that means that the guaranteed rares just get lumped in with the rest, and then from those they're going to be assigned to the different number of properties based off of that. Maybe that's not how it works. Maybe there's even a model 3 or model 4. There's several other ways you can look at it, but I think these two give you at least a good example on the most prominent scenarios, right? The model 2, however, works in a different way. And I think that this is actually quite likely because it's the lazy solution. It's the easy solution. And it would work like this. Since you're doing the roll for legendary, and then, okay, that's not a legendary. Do the roll for 6 properties. Okay, it's not a 6 property. Do a roll for 5, right? Not a 5 property. How do you guarantee that this item is a rare? Simply, you make the percentage chance that it's a 4 property rare 100. So it would be guaranteed to be a 4 property rare. The problem for us is that 4 property rares are not that valuable. They can't really be that good, right? I'm at a stage where items for me need to have like 5 things that I want, or even 6. I think my boots has like 7, because that has like move speed, strength and vitality, resist all, magic find, a specific resist, and then something else on top of that. It's just you need to get really lucky to get the very expensive pieces, and that's only going to happen on the 6 property item. That's also why people craft the 6 property items rather than the 5, even though the 5 costs like half as much. You have a much better chance of getting a good item with a 6 property because I mean, even if you get a bad roll, right? On a 6 property, you get a bad roll, but that's fine because now you can't get it again, and there's a better chance that you'll get the good stuff on the other 5. Also, many pieces don't need that many rolls to be good, so it just gives you a much, much better chance of getting the ones that you need. Yeah, so for this and many other reasons, I'm mostly concerned with the items that are level 63 and also 6 properties. Right, so let's then what that means is that the 4 property rare, if they did it the lazy way and they just gave that 100% chance, then Magic Find actually becomes more valuable. So let's just compare the two scenarios here. You can read the numbers off. The important part is that with 100% Magic Find, you're expected about 4 6 property rares that are eye level 63. And if you have 300% Magic Find, then you expect 6. So that's only 50% more. And that's happening because the guaranteed rares, you really didn't need Magic Find to get, right? So it's not a problem there. But you're still getting a significant benefit in terms of how many more rares you're getting. 50% is still a good number, right? In Model 2, however, since the items are treated separately, you can see here that this is to be expected, right? From the items that are not guaranteed rares, you're getting twice as much because you have 100% base plus 100% magic find. That's 2. And here you have 100% base plus 300% magic find, 4. So twice as much. But you have a much different effect here from the guaranteed rares. You're still getting twice as many under this scenario, but again, if you work instead under model 1, then this is going to be just the same. It's going to be the same for both because magic find only increases the chance that it'll be rare. So you're losing out on this part here. And if this is true, if model 2 is correct, then magic find is actually very, very valuable because it basically means that the fact that Nephilim Valor is giving you the guaranteed rares is irrelevant because magic find is still making them much, much better. So the decision to go for magic find or not is still kind of up to you. Like you can choose to maybe do Act 3 without magic find, or maybe go down to Act 2, and then there you can actually use the magic find pieces that you have. It's going to be a personal choice to some extent, but I think definitely at some point magic find actually becomes important because you can get the same piece that is amazing with the magic find on top, and that just gives you even more returns. So since I'm doing this strategy, obviously I think it's good, but I could be wrong. And I hope I at least gave you some information that lets you make the decision for yourself. And hopefully this was informative. Thanks for watching.